Made with only 3 ingredients, this Cacio e Pepe is super simple to make and so delicious. Hi guys, welcome back to Dadlicious Eats. Now, I was over in Italy in Rome with work a couple of weeks ago, and on one of our evenings out we had the best pasta dish that I've eaten ever. It's Cacio e Pepe, which is basically a pasta dish with only 3 ingredients. So we have pecorino, which is a sheep's cheese, we have pasta, and we have pepper. And these combine into this delicious, cheesy, creamy sauce, and it's absolutely to die for. As always, it would really help me out if you could like the video, share it, drop a comment. It really helps the algorithm share the video on YouTube and gets that message across that it doesn't have to cost a lot of money to cook and eat really good food. Right, let's get cooking. Okay, so first up, let's get a pan of boiling water going. And then we're going to season that with some salt. So onto the pasta. Now, I picked up some bucatini in Rome, which is essentially a really thick spaghetti. However, it's hollow in the middle, so there's a big hole that goes right the way through. So it just takes 8 minutes to cook, as it says here. But try and get the thickest spaghetti that you can get hold of. So we're just going to pop that into the pan. Now, Italians might hate me everywhere, but generally when I'm cooking for the children, I just break this in half. Get upset if you want to. But for this, I'm going to keep it whole. So we're going to leave that for about 8 minutes to cook away. And we're going to get the cheese sorted. So the cheese we're using today is Pecorino, which is a sheep or ewe's cheese. If you compare that to Parmesan, so both of these I picked up in Rome as well, but you can see the Parmesan is a little bit nuttier, a bit coarser, and we've got the Pecorino that is much creamier. If you were to try them both, you would just see this sort of creamy taste versus this more sort of nutty Parmesan taste. So a couple of top tips for making sure that you make really good Cacio e Pepe. First of all, on the grater, you don't want big, thick chunks coming out. You want to grate it as thin as you can. That way, when the cheese melts into the pasta, it just melts down much smoother and much easier. Secondly, don't take it straight out of the fridge. So we want this to be as close to the temperature of the pasta as possible. It just makes it much easier to bind together. So let's start grating this. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. Really appreciate you coming back again. If you're not, why not go ahead and click that button now. Got tons of recipes that I want to share with you. And all I'm trying to do is, I'm a regular dad and I just want to really get the message out that it doesn't have to cost a lot of money to make good food. I see so many parents cooking ready meals, but it really is quick and easy just to cook a meal yourself. And this recipe, for example, is going to take about 12 minutes from start to finish. Right, that looks good to go. So as you can see, we've got this nice thinly grated Pecorino cheese. Okay, so next up, I'm going to take probably about 2/3 of this cheese, or so much. Then we're going to ladle in some of the starchy pasta water. But you can see the colour of this. It's not clear. This is where the starch from the pasta has leached out, but we want to keep that. So let's pop in a little bit more because this really helps the cheese to stick to the pasta. So we're going to give this a good whisk, and we're making basically a paste out of this, and this really helps to get the cheese to break down. You don't want any significant lumps, which is why we have grated it nice and finely. That's looking pretty good. Okay, so next up, final ingredient. So we've had the spaghetti or the bucatini, we've had the pecorino cheese. Finally, black pepper, lots and lots of black pepper. So I've heated up this frying pan so we can toast off this black pepper. You probably want a couple of teaspoons or so, probably about a teaspoon a person. That's looking good. So we're just going to toast that off for a little bit. And then just as we did with the cheese, just going to add in a little bit of the starch and the water. So that's good. Then turn that off. So now we've got the heat off, we've drained the pasta. Let's pop the pasta back into the frying pan. And then we're going to add in our cheese. And as this keeps heating up, this is going to come out into a nice creamy sauce. So we'll give that a mix around. This is combining with the black pepper. And you can see the cheese is starting to really cling on to the pasta. Right, so it's time to serve. So let's just make this into a little bit of a nest if we can. See how that works out. There we go. So we finish that off with some more grated pecorino. And then a little bit more black pepper for good measure. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our Cacio e Pepe. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back again soon. Cheers, guys.